Hey listeners, last year was our 15th year of the best in food storytelling. As we head into 2025, we're kicking off a contest in collaboration with the podcast series Feast and Harmony and Sixth Man, where you have the opportunity to win a 4-night cruise for 2 on Chefs Making Waves, a food, wine, and spirits festival at sea. When you donate to HRN, you'll be entered for the chance to win a porthole cabin for 2 on Chefs Making Waves, sailing May 5th through 9th, 2025, from Miami to Cozumel, Mexico on Norwegian Gem. You'll also support another year of great food storytelling with a portion of your donation going toward disaster relief for the food and beverage communities within Western North Carolina and Southern California. This cruise is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for culinary adventurers, featuring top celebrity chefs including Jonathan Waxman, Antonio Lafaso, Robert Irvine, and many, many more. There's a myriad of experiences such as restaurant takeovers, live food and mixology demos, themed parties, and more. To enter your chance to win, please visit heritageradionetwork.org/cruise. Terms and conditions apply. You must be 21 or over to enter. That's heritageradionetwork.org/cruise.
You're listening to Heritage Radio Network.
Since 2009, HRN podcasts have been exploring the wide world of food, beverage, and agriculture. Learn more at heritageradionetwork.org.
This episode is brought to you by Wisconsin Cheese. We've been making cheese in Wisconsin since before we were even a state, which may be one reason why we win so many awards for it. It's what happens when a whole state dreams in cheese. Find your next favorite cheese at wisconsincheese.com.
We talk about food, we talk about music, with musical dudes. Finger on the pulse, snacky tunes.
Hello and welcome to Snacky Tunes. I'm your host, Darren Bresnitz. I am so excited to have our good bud, Mike Trout, come back to the show to chat about the Chef Conference happening in Philadelphia this April 4th through the 7th. It's a hometown hero type event welcoming some of the best culinary stars and community to the city of brotherly love. We chat about the Noma project he's welcoming to the conference this year, some of the high-end guests, and some of the hard-hitting topics that are affecting the restaurant community today. And we're keeping it all city of Philly, go Birds, and playing a awesome performance and conversation from SNACKTIME, one of the best acts to emerge from the local scene in recent years. So please sit back, relax, and enjoy Snacky Tunes here on HRN. And of course, if you want to continue supporting those affected by the California wildfires, there are links in both the episode description and the Snacky Tunes newsletter. Enjoy.
So if the fun is free, then you gotta get down. Come on. Sometimes I don't know what I'm saying, but I'm telling you to start the day. We're gonna put your pain away right away. song when I was taking this. Let it horn out real quick. One time. Yep. Gotta get funky. Funky there, funky there, funky everywhere. Get up. Gotta get funky. Funky up and down and all around. Come on, sing. Woo, child. Gotta get funky. Funky there, funky there, funky everywhere. Oh, gotta get funky. Funky up, down, and all around. Oh.
How y'all feeling out there, Philadelphia? We're snack time, and this is motherfucking dance music. Let me see you move those asses. Let's go!
To the floor. 2, 1, 2, here we go. That's what I'm talking about.
Mike, great to see your face. Welcome back to Snacky Tunes.
Great
Calling
to
in
be back.
from the hometown of Philadelphia. How's our town? Recovered yet from the Super Bowl
Home of
win?
the Super Bowl champions.
You know, I am a Dodgers fan by married in, and then Philadelphia Eagles fan from growing up. And I just don't think I'm ever going to really live these heights in my life as the way I feel right now.
Nothing beats being on Broad Street, post, Super Bowl championship celebration, the vibe, the positive energy in our city.
Listen, since no one can see you, it's audio only. Hold up how many fingers of light poles you climbed up.
None. But
Yeah.
I did bump into somebody who told me they broke a rib climbing a pole.
Oh, rough. Not as bad as the guy who blew off his hand during the Dodgers celebration. I did not expect that to be the end of that video. But we're not here to talk about the Eagles, even though we could all day. We're here to chat about the Chef Conference. We had you on last year to talk about the inaugural LA one, and now you are returning with your firstborn, the Philly Conference. First launched in 2013, so that would put us, let's just ignore COVID, 12 years in. How does it feel to be going into this essentially 2-conference season?
It's pretty interesting in that Philly had always been one that's kind of grown and evolved.
Mm-hmm.
Each year kind of grows and evolves. It was something that was originally Philly-centric in a way to kind of unite just our community. And then I feel like the value of all conferences is like you want to meet new people.
Yeah.
Like you can meet the people in your area anytime. You can bump into a restaurant, but you want those outside voices to kind of engage and provide insight. So to kind of have that grow and then throw in LA to say, all right, let's see how this connects to another area and this formula. And then it's also both are two different animals, being that Philly is my monster. That's 4 days, 23 panels, the main day being 14 panels, 3 different rooms, versus LA is 5 to 6 panels, 1 room. It's a much different, model. Because a lot of it depends on the venue. That's what I always
of course.
With event planning. It's like you see the venue and then you can kind of craft a vision.
Yeah, and listen, it's also about expectations. With Philly Conference being so established and you've already had such big headliners, you got to keep bringing that heat every year.
Yeah, and that's the interesting part. It's like figuring out who are the voices that haven't been here. who are the up and coming, because I always view this as like educational house party / seeing your favorite artist in a small venue, but also seeing that new up and coming artist in that small venue where you're like, oh, I saw that person before they made it. And sometimes it's like you want to give voice to the new and up and coming people versus the established. And it's also sometimes if somebody's speaking everywhere, well, then I don't want to speak.
I mean, not to make the analogy to music, but the few bands that I've caught unknowing, didn't have any context for them as an opener, who have then somehow gone on to be a favorite band, which I have to say could be few and far between at this point, has always been warmer to my heart, and always the person who booked them or the person who curated the show, I've always had a lot of respect for them because they knew what I wanted before I even knew about what it was.
Yeah, and that's the fun part, is trying to figure out who's doing something, and then getting on people's radar with like books that are coming out. And at the end of the day, it's like a big puzzle, and you can always find those end pieces, but it's like putting those other ones and seeing how it all fits. And then with Philadelphia being 3 different rooms, it's how do you balance an agenda that there's no conflicts. But the best thing I get every year is somebody said, there were so many things that I wanted to see that I couldn't see.
Yeah, I mean, that's
a good problem.
That's a good problem. You have some of my favorite people in the food world coming in, and just because we play nice and don't play favorites, I'd love for you to chat about who you're really excited about. What are some of the panels that are just are going to hit?
One that really kind of jumps out and that I've had planned for a while is crafting. I like to have very like unique conversations that don't happen and may have never happened. So to have Tom Colicchio with Ben Shuri and Jeff Gordonier moderating it, like Tom Colicchio and Ben Shuri have never met.
No.
And they are both, elder statesmen in their country with food and the politics behind it, and have such great careers. To kind of have these people you're going to sit and see these people kind of talk for the first time and hear their insights. And I think that's when kind of the magic happens, is that these people are willing to talk and put their voices out there. And
sure. Yeah. Share their background, share their insights, put themselves out there where they're not the only top person on the panel, where everyone's just going to sort of genuflect to what they say.
Yeah. Be
challenged even, or think about things in a different way.
And that's also with Ben. It's like his book is extremely forthcoming.
Very forthcoming. I recommend anyone who hasn't read it yet to read it.
Yeah, he's very forthcoming, and just he's willing to talk. And that's part of the beauty of finding the right panelists, is like, who's willing to talk and engage. I don't want the panelist who walks in with an entourage and walks out. Like, I want the person who walks in and then sits in on the panel.
Yeah.
And asks a question.
Yeah. And going back to your comment about people who are on panels all the time, if you follow the circuit or you read interviews, a lot of the same lines or stories pop up. So finding people who are willing to bring in fresh stories or say things that people may have not heard is really important, especially just given how much content is out there on people. When it used to be, okay, I couldn't really get access to these people, it was a different thing. But nowadays, you can usually find, at least in the food world, the top 20 or so people's greatest hits already existing in media in some form or another.
Yeah, and it's tracking down. I like to find the people that don't go out. You get so many pitches from PR people which is excellent.
Great, totally great.
finding the person who doesn't do it. And there's the game to track down that speaker. And how am I going to connect this web and network to really kind of, sometimes it's easy as, sending a direct message. Sometimes you have to go through all these holes to jump through and get that. Like, if you get that person on the right day and they're responsive, it could be quick and easy. Sometimes it's showing up at the restaurant.
I have found that showing up at the restaurant, physically going to a place, is so underrated by people who only sit on a computer or on a phone trying to get things done. It's how I got my first TV show, and it's how I've gotten a lot of guests or gotten to meet people, because I just physically went there. And
I find it's like part of my
part of the job.
If you're going to invest in me, I'm going to invest in you.
Of course.
And you're going to meet me. I'm going to show face. I'm going to introduce myself, and I want to support you because you're willing to support me.
Now, speaking of investments, one of the panels deals with disasters and crisis management in the hospitality world. Obviously, sitting here in LA, it's just been one kick in the teeth to the restaurant industry since like March 2020. And obviously this is a very extreme version of it with the writer's strike and the fires and things like that. But other food communities are also suffering. What are you hoping that panel talks about, and what sort of actionable item do you hope comes out of this one and other ones about mental health and some of the bigger topics that are not as clear answerable, these types of panels?
It's interesting with that panel is that was constructed in November. It was. Evergreen. It was supposed to be focused only on Asheville.
Yes, which is when people talk about the LA food scene and the restaurants, my first response is always like, Asheville's still going through this, and everyone has forgotten about it. Not everyone, but people have moved on.
Yeah, so originally it was crafted just to be around Asheville. And then, being able to get Katie Button, Jason Collis, who's the chief relief officer for World Central Kitchen, but also somebody like Chris Shepard from Southern Smoke, who provides, benefits for the hospitality industry. That's the avenue I was going. And then with the fires and everything going on in LA, being able to get Courtney Storer and all the, the work that she is doing to be a voice. I think what comes out of it is I'm here in Philadelphia. We see images of Asheville. We see images of LA, and we can get a sense of it, but we don't get the true what's going on. And to have these voices in these communities that are doing the work out there to kind of paint a picture, but it's also important to shed light on these organizations, World Central Kitchen, Southern Smoke, and how they help the communities. But it's also it gets mentioned, but it doesn't get mentioned enough, the role that the chef plays in these communities before, during, and after tragedies.
They're literally feeding the community as the restaurant is underwater or is burned down, or their house.
It just seems to be the chef's nature that they just jump in, and I think it's something that needs to be highlighted. But it's the work of World Central Kitchen is wonderful, and it's just to promote that and to kind of with Philadelphia bringing in so many different voices, it kind of gives a national platform. So when there's opportunities to help individuals know how to activate and engage, but it's also the people who are there can give you that true perspective. Like, no, this is what we need moving forward. This is how, this is what we need. Is it money? Is it donations? How do people externally really help, and who are the organizations to get the money to that is going to make a difference and that's going to trickle down into the community and really be extremely helpful in the rebuild?
I agree. I think really understanding what people need and where resources need to go is a huge part of what I was asking before, not just the disaster, but mental health, work-life balance, all the stuff in the restaurant industry that still seems to be very similar questions that keep getting asked every year about what needs to be changed and tipping versus non-tipping and these, base salary and things like that. So it's great that you're digging into that. Let's take a musical break. And I know we're ending on a bit of a heavy note, but when I come back, I want to talk more about some of the dinners you put together, the special events you're doing with Noma, and some of the other special treats that people can expect in and around the conference in Philly. Here's the song from the archives on Snacky Tunes here on HRN. Welcome back to Snacky Tunes, chatting with our good bud Mike of the Chef Conference. And it wouldn't be the Chef Conference if there weren't a lot of great meals surrounding the talks. And I got to experience a really fantastic meal together with you here in LA at Lasita and Claude that you brought in from New York. And I know you have some special things planned for this week in Philly. So why don't you share some of the dinners and lunches and bites that people can expect in and around the city?
One of the fun things with the conference is really it's the programming, but it's also the external activation of the city and bringing together like food collaborations that don't exist anywhere else, and where you can experience, amazing dinners and see chefs that are coming through Philadelphia that, provide an opportunity for a local community, but also nationally to see these really unique collaborations. So, I mean, some of them with like Kasama in Chicago, with Adamix in New York, and Kalaya and Jesse Ito. It's like, these are people that aren't getting, these dinners aren't happening again. They're
Right.
one time, way to kind of experience it. And they're all like, Food and Wine Magazine is doing their inaugural alumni Best New Chef dinner.
Yeah.
So to have dinners like that have an opportunity for people to kind of come to Philadelphia, educate, experience the city, and have some of the best, meals and experiences that aren't happening elsewhere. And as you mentioned, to have teams from LA that I've worked with before, to bring them out to Philadelphia to expand their reach, introduce them to an East Coast audience. But it's like really exciting to have Noma Projects, decide that they're going to hunker down in Philadelphia for, over the conference weekend and do, multiple collabs with their products and really kind of give people a taste and something that's extremely unique that I think it's only happened in New York City last year. So to host it in Philadelphia as part of the conference is, very exciting.
Yeah. Takeaways, will people get to walk away with some Noma products, or is that you're keeping that a little bit close to the vest?
I mean, these are going to be free-flowing events. They're open to the public. There's going to be, having them do, a taco collaboration with Christina Martinez and South Philly Barbacoa, having them work with Michael Solomonov and Goldie in a falafel sandwich, but also to do a pop-up at Vetri Cucina. I mean, being that in the Ace Hotel in Kyoto, where Noma does their pop-up, also Mark Vetri has a restaurant there. So there's that natural synergy that they can kind of connect. And these are, one time only, experiences that, to capture, come in, sit through panels 9 to 12 on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday morning, and then being able to go and experience these, these dinners and events that aren't happening in any other city.
So obviously you're naming some big names, but there's always the same thing about discovering that restaurant, that chef that maybe people aren't quite talking about yet, whose table you won't be able to get to next year. Who's cooking up dinners that are on the rise in Philly, or that you're bringing in that you're excited about as well?
Tam Tam in Miami, I think it's going to be, a special dinner at Irwin's, and that I think you're going to see a lot from Tam in the next year or so. That's really going to blow up, and the food that he's doing down in Miami is getting rave reviews from anybody I hear. I'm really, excited to bring Lasita, and as we know,
I know.
I think when I was my time in LA, I went to Lasita like 3 times just because it was such a great dining experience, and I can't wait to kind of, let Philly experience it. The same times that I went and sat down there and ate, was like, geez, I wish this was in Philadelphia. But there's a good Filipino scene in Philadelphia. There is. But it was just something that it was a great experience. The way, the hospitality that Chase does and their team, it's something magical. Having Anna Castro, I mean, she's already blowing up. She's been a Food and Wine Best New Chef, but she has their new restaurant, Akamaya, in New Orleans. So to have people experience that, and it's a willingness. Like, the beauty of all this is that the chefs' willingness to get together and collaborate.
Yeah, I think so. And to get into each other's kitchen and to share ideas and things like that. I really appreciated the Lasita Claude dinner because you got a taste of both restaurants, and there was also collaboration, but it wasn't that weird almost a dish, but not a dish, where they're pulling bits and pieces of their own best hits and putting it together in some sort of fusion dish. It was really, you could feel each restaurant on its own and then also in conversation with each other.
And I think it's the benefit. Like, I think the chefs enjoy it too, because they get to meet somebody new. They get to connect. And what I've liked to see over the years is that there's these relationships that are built at the chef conference and in Philadelphia that connects to these people doing stuff elsewhere, or people saying, oh, I met this person at the chef conference. And I know friends who, have arranged stages at Noma and have gotten jobs with Union Square Hospitality Group from just being a part of the conference. And I think it's what people need to, the attendees, is like being an attendee in a part, is just as valuable as being a panelist. Like, you're part of the community. You're the ones who are in the audience asking questions, engaging. Like, participants, attendees play a role in the whole function of the conference, the chef conference. And I think that's a wonderful thing too. And especially because I think a lot of the chefs and the speakers really make themselves accessible to connect.
Yeah. Now, for those who are coming in and haven't maybe gone out in Philly in a while, or it's their first time in Philly, what can you tell them about the local scene right now? Because I went back in Thanksgiving and I had to make peace with it very early on that I couldn't even come close to eat at all the places I wanted to. I hit 3 or 4 spots coming in from the suburbs, but I just knew that it was going to be, well, these are the 2 or 3 this time. There'll be more next time. But Philadelphia is on fire. I mean, I'll answer for you, but then you can answer it even better. What can people expect? How should they manage their meals?
What beauty of Philadelphia is that it's extremely walkable.
Yeah.
So there's the ability to eat, walk off the meal a little bit, go get another bite elsewhere and bounce around. Especially, I see it with conference people who've come and participated, that there's the ability, especially if you're rolling with a crew of 3 or 4 people, you get to go and try some of the best restaurants and bounce around, and because it has everything from like street food to fine dining and Philadelphia has a beautiful BYOB culture. So it's like, bring your own bottle. If we're talking about like saving money at the end of the day, it's like you got some great wine and communal dinners. You're going to really, enjoy the experience. And then there's also, great bar culture. We're doing some bar collaborations this year with, Philadelphia, bringing in, bars from DC, from Chicago, just to kind of tap that element into the conference, accessibility. Because especially with those bar events, they're open to anybody.
Yeah.
So you can try some of the best, people doing cocktails out there.
So as the head curator, how do you pace yourself? Because I think you went to every dinner when you were here in LA and you went to all the panels, but that's one day. The weekend warm up, the 4 days of the festival, all the meals, all the bites and everything. What's your regimen leading up to it? Are you just crushing marathons right before? Are you hitting the bike, doing some Pilates?
It's being physical. It's being strategic in the planning. It's getting well rested, figuring out, like, just my Saturday of the conference is figuring out a map of where these dinners are. Because there's, I think, 3 to 4 dinners, 1 bar collab, 2 parties. It's, but it's fun. It's, I'll sleep on the Tuesday after.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, listen, if people want to come, get tickets, pop in for a dinner, follow along with the updates. I know that I'm sure you'll be having a little bit more surprises and reveals as you get closer to the conference. Where can they go? And then also if they want to keep their eye on the LA announcement.
Yeah, so everything's at thechefconference.com. You can find the full agenda, ticket links, the Resi collaboration dinners that are going on. Be back in LA October 20th. So that's all, that's already being planned.
Amazing.
Conference planning never ends. It's a 24/7, 365.
One conference, and I learned this with Event Series, when you're doing one, you get a few months off. Once you start adding two, that's it. All year round. All year round, indeed.
But that's the fun part. It's scouting talent and topics and really kind of connecting with, the community, and especially being within LA, it's figuring out who does LA want to engage with? What topics are important with LA? What voices are beneficial to bring into the community? And that's, what I really think the value is to kind of craft this network and open forum of conversation.
Yeah. Well, you and I can chat offline as we have in the past about what LA might be looking for. And, other than direct relief from the federal government for wildfires, maybe we'll just focus on chefs and things like that. Always a pleasure. We have another song from the archives and then a live performance here on Snacky Tunes on HRN.
This episode is brought to you by Wisconsin Cheese. There's a reason when you think of Wisconsin, you think cheese. Cheese is a huge part of Wisconsin's history and future. In Wisconsin, the state of cheese, The tradition of cheesemaking excellence began 180 years ago, before Wisconsin was recognized as a state. Immigrants traveled to settle in this lush green hills of Wisconsin, bringing their cheesemaking traditions with them. These storied skills, combined with the freshest milk available, created a cheesemaking culture that is uniquely Wisconsin. Wisconsin's 1,200 cheesemakers, many of whom are third and fourth generation, continue to pass on old world traditions while adopting modern innovations in cheesemaking craftsmanship. Find your next favorite cheese at wisconsincheese.com.
Sam, Larry, Ben of Snack Time, fellow Philadelphia friends, welcome to Snacky Tunes. And that is about as close as we're going to get to having a band with the same name as the show. I absolutely love it. Welcome, guys.
When we got hit up for this, I was like, did they name it after us?
I mean, listen, we're all from Philly and we all love snacks. So I imagine that's, it's going to happen eventually, right?
When we first started the band, I have a bunch of friends who do food and drink, and it was during pandemic, so everyone was doing a lot of pop-ups.
Yeah.
And my friend said, of course, leave it to Sam to take the best food pop-up name for a band.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. Love to help you out.
And I actually, at the moment, it was when we first started, I said, you could have it. She's like, no. So it turned out for the best.
Yeah. Well, before we get into it, I just want to make sure we're sort of on the same page. I'd love to hear your favorite place to get a roast pork sandwich in the city.
Who wants to go first?
I'm basic. I started eating roast pork in high school, so John's Roast Pork.
Mm-hmm. Classic.
The thing is, that's not even basic, bro. Like, I feel like you can't. It's hard to beat that. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, it's the go-to. That's what I mean by basic.
I will say I was a big John's Roast Pork guy. Like most of the time of being an affiliate. The past couple of times I've been to DeNick's in the Reading Terminal Market, which I guess is now Tommy DeNick's.
Nice.
Yeah.
Pretty freaking good.
Always classic. Always like the Tuesday before Thanksgiving, picking up a turkey, having a sandwich at like 9:30 in the morning.
Yeah. With the broccoli rabe, it's and
of course,
and the sharp provolone, it's pretty magical.
Of course, Ben, what do you have?
I'm between those two. I'm more of a roast beef guy. I just find myself eating a roast beef sandwich more. I go to Nick's.
Nick's roast beef.
But nothing wrong with roast pork.
No.
We also got shout out to Drew DeTomo at Meeting House. Delicious roast beef.
We just had him on the show the other week.
Really?
Yeah.
Drew's like one of my best friends.
It's I got a lot of Philly pride, so I'm always trying to put a little light on the city.
I saw you interviewed Alex as well. Alex Kent. He's a deep homie. We met in Montreal back in, I guess, pre-pandemic when he and Amanda first got together, and we became friends. He's good people. Good people.
Great restaurant. Excited for what's going on with them.
They're amazing. I'm
a Tony Luke's guy, which I know has a lot of controversy of all the family drama. I stay away from that and just, go for the sandwiches. But
I'm actually not familiar with the family drama.
I thought it was just tax fraud.
It's deep. We don't need to get into it, but we all got Google. You can get into it.
Funny story about Tony Luke. Tony Luke Jr. hit me up on a message. He's a fan of Snack Time, and he said he needed a trumpet player, so you could listen to Eric Sherman from Snack Time on the upcoming Tony Luke single, Tony Luke Jr. single. I think it's called like Smooth Jam or something, but I heard it sounds really good.
Yeah, cool. I mean, he's an accomplished musician in his own right. Look, not to take it down a note, but we are recording the Thursday after the unbelievable collapse of the Philadelphia Eagles. What did you guys do to eat your feelings or try and get over what was a collapse, the likes we haven't seen in a long time?
Me personally, I just took my Eagles jersey off and put the Sixers one on.
Have you guys ever seen the meme of Homer Simpson like backing out into the bushes and coming back out?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm honestly I'm mainly only a Sixers fan these days. I grew up a New York Giants fan from New York, raised in Florida, but was a longtime New York Giants fan, and then I became a fan of the city of Philadelphia more so. So it was more so being supportive to other members of our band who were deeply affected and traumatized by those actions. So we're still picking up the pieces, but I think we're going to be okay.
Yeah, it's been. I mean, I'm a little removed from it being out in LA, but everyone who I know from Philly was watching was just a lot of big, like, heavy sighs over text as the night dragged on.
Yeah, it's a pretty big thing too because I get the Jason Kelsey comparison probably twice a day, and I think with him being less on the TV after his potential retirement, they're going to have to find another person to compare me to.
Yeah, well, I mean,
step in for him.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I literally have dreams I feel like I have like a quarterly dream about the Philadelphia Eagles have an open call and they need me to play right guard. And I haven't played football since 2011. And I still, like, in my dream, I'm like right with it. Like, I could move, I'm fast as fuck, I'm strong as fuck. And so maybe, who knows?
I mean, to be fair, Invincible does exist. Tony Luke was actually an extra in the movie. So if we want to run it back from Invincible 2,
let's go. Vince Papali.
Yeah. Speaking of the Sixers, you guys have played a couple of halftime shows with them. One, incredible. Two, how'd that happen? Three, how'd you feel being out on the court?
So we, back in the day when we first started, we were a pandemic band. So we really just played out in the streets. And we have a friend of the band. His name is Brian Nadav. He's a owner of a really great lifestyle clothing and shoe store called Lapson and Hammer. He invited me to a playoff game to go see the Hawks back in, I guess it would have been 2020, 2021. And I ran into the guy who's the head of presentation. And he's like, yo, this guy saw you in the street. They want to have you do a thing. So initially we were going to be playing for the Eastern Conference Championship Finals. I guess it would be 21. But the Sixers, in Sixers fashion, lost in Game 7. It didn't end up happening, and then they ended up following up in the beginning of the next season. We played opening game for the NBA. It was awesome. Since then, we've probably done it about 20 times, so it's been really great. They kind of just saw us on the street, which is sort of the story for a lot of people in the early days. They just saw us and the energy we brought, so it was a really cool thing.
Amazing. I want to talk about those early days after we hear our first song. What's the first one you're going to play for us?
The first one is Gotta Get Funky. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
So this one is Gotta Get Funky. On the physical album version, you will see Gotta Get Funky in parentheses while you're taking a shit. Online, you will now just see Gotta Get Funky.
Okay. Well, yeah, there we go. Here we go. Gotta Get Funky, Snack Time Live here on Snacky Tunes on HRN.
funky there, funky everywhere. Come on, said I gotta get funky. Funky up and down and all around. Take the story. I know the world's gonna do some changes, but I know we gon' keep on playing. I got willing, but y'all don't feel this shit across the nation. So if the fun is free, then you gotta get down. Come on. Sometimes I don't know what I'm saying, but I'm saying this fact that we're gonna put your pain away right away. I wrote the song when I was taking this. Let it horn out real quick. One time. Yep. Gotta get funky. Funky there, funky there, funky everywhere. Get up. Gotta get funky. Funky up and down and all around. Come on, sing. Woo, child. Gotta get funky. Funky there, funky there, funky everywhere. Oh, gotta get funky. Funky up and down and all around. Oh.
How y'all feeling out there, Philadelphia? We're snack time, and this is motherfucking dance music. Let me see you move those asses. Let's go!
To the 4, 2, 1, 2, baby. That's what I'm talking about.
Welcome back to Snacky Tunes. We're here with Sam, Larry, and Ben of Snack Time. And before the break, you were talking about getting started, busking in the street, and that's just how you met people and got the word out. Why did you start that way? Why start a band during the pandemic when arguably it's the worst time to do anything where you're trying to get a group of people together?
I think it's the worst time and the best time. Everyone in the group has been a professional musician doing freelance stuff, for as long as they can remember. But during this time, everyone, kind of lost all their gigs. They had a bunch of downtime. We didn't get to play music for so long with other people. Venues were shut down, and it was kind of like the only place we could do it was outside.
Right.
The amount of times we could do it was unlimited because it wasn't like, oh yeah, you're hired for this gig, show up on Tuesday. Right. It was just like, let's go to the park and play. So it was that paired with like the community of Philly was like, there was nothing to do. Sure. They hadn't heard music in so long. And this was like a relatively safe thing to do. You could go outside, be spread out. This is talking like 2020 times.
Yeah,
when it was real bad. So that's kind of what started. It was the need to fill something in Philly where they just needed joy and they needed to dance and they needed to get together. But it was also like all of us were out of a job. We had a bunch of time and we would make a little bit of money, but it was more to like get together and play music. So that's how it didn't really start as like, hey guys, let's start a band. It was just kind of like, yo, who wants to come play? Yeah. And we do it again and again and again. And then it stuck.
And then how long did it take to solidify? And when you're like, oh, this is something real.
It's kind of funny because I remember the first time we got out there and Ben and I had gotten there maybe 15 minutes before everybody else. And the news instantly was like, you guys want to play for the news? And there honestly kind of always just felt to be this like destiny about Snack Time. There was just this magic about it because of the time and the place and the spirit of it. But every single time, regardless if there was, the crowd started, and me and Ben have actually been going through the Instagram, sort of just cleaning it up, trying to make it a little bit more together.
Sure.
And, when we started back in the day, there'd be 10 people out there, and we thought we were like, yo, this is amazing. And then you look back to our last performance in Rittenhouse, which is probably a year and a half ago, and it was upwards of 300-400 people just
amazing
pulling up. And it was, so it's, in a way, it's kind of always felt like it was solidified, but I think every single time there's a new benchmark that we hit, that kind of brings it one more level up.
Well, I'd also add, and Larry can definitely speak more of this, when it went from like just a street band whatever to like, oh shit, this is something different, was the first time we had Larry play with us. Larry plays guitar, which is an electric instrument, and we were playing without power, all acoustic prior to Larry. We were on a stage at a music festival called Beard Fest in New Jersey, and we had Larry, and it was like we had went from this sound of just horns and drums to playing into microphones for maybe the first time, having Larry and that group. And it's actually, we played Gotta Get Funky, the song you just heard. We played that for the first time. I feel like there.
Yeah,
it was half written. It wasn't even finished.
Larry had not even rehearsed with us. He came to the gig. At this point, we wrote mostly covers. We played mostly covers.
There you go.
So on like a shitty napkin, I wrote in permanent marker on like this, and maybe it was a different key. I handed him a scrawled piece of paper. I'm like, "You got it?" And he's like, "Cool." And just to kind of piggyback off Ben, I remember we used to close most of our sets in Rittenhouse with Purple Rain. It was a big emotional moment, and that's also on our first music release. We have a live version of Purple Rain, and Larry just absolutely fucking played one of the most beautiful solos I've ever heard.
I mean, that song without a guitar solo is not the song.
Right.
Yeah. So
This is true.
definitely that was a huge moment, being like, yep, this is definitely a new step in the right direction.
Being a part of the Philly community is such a great thing. It's a rare thing, just because it's great music and art and things like that. But, the food scene has really exploded. And I know that you guys have deep ties to that community. You've done pop-ups before. Why do you love that crossover of food and music? How do you see them relating to each other? And who are some of the chefs you've worked with?
So Snack Time, prior to the band Snack Time, was actually started as a pop-up called Snack Time. And it was started with me and a chef. Her name is Jen Zavala. She has a restaurant in South Philadelphia called Wanted Somali. And basically, to me, the Snack Time is the intersection of food, music, and community. And I think that in so many ways, it's like an unsung hero of a lot of people. Because I think that a lot of people, just in the same way that they expect to go to a restaurant and the food's going to be ready and hot and perfect all the time, people don't really see the work that goes into it in the same way that I find that with music. I think that people just expect to go hear really good music, and they don't care about, your loading, and they don't care about what time you got there. They don't care about how much time you practice. They just expect it to be good. So I think that there's just so much intersection of of similarities. And also I just think that there's just so much good food. And I met so many friends through the food scene prior to even having any band of my own or our own, that for so long, it was just like I felt this thing that was missing, of this community that people can get together and listen to music and eat food. And then I, sort of just wanted to be not be the change, but just see the things that I wanted to do. So, and it's really awesome because through Snack Time, I obviously have had our own connections that we've had, and then Larry and Austin, who are from Philadelphia, have shown us so many great insider spots. So it's really shown me all the beautiful food that Philly really has. So to get back to your question, though, we've done a lot of different collaborations. We've done Michael Ferreri from Irwin's. We've done Michael Solomonov from the Sahab family, Jose Garces. We've done Matt Kahn from Middle Child, Matt Buddha from Liberty Kitchen. I know there's a bunch more.
Shout out Mark Vetri.
Yeah,
Mark Vetri. Oh my God,
Philly goat.
Mark Vetri. We played at his restaurant a bunch, and then when we were in Las Vegas, Mark set up a gig for us at his restaurant in Las Vegas and had us do an amazing show with all this. It was a Philly food party in Las Vegas that he basically helped us put together while we were playing Life is Beautiful. So
He's
we
the
were
best.
eating, like, honestly, one of
best.
the best roast pork sandwich I've ever had in my life. It was like this crazy porchetta vibe.
Yeah, I mean,
and then
that's not fair if it's coming from Mark. You know what I mean?
So and then after the gig, he took us up to the top of the casino, and we ate at Vetri Las Vegas. And then the next day, he set us up in a cabana before we played Life is Beautiful. So it was we were so styled out. It was like our first time on the West Coast, and we just like got absolutely styled out. And big shout out to Mark Vetri.
Huge shout out.
Papa Dilly changed my life.
Yeah, baby.
His pasta will make you see the world in a different way. All right, let's get to the next song. What are you going to play for us?
The next song, everybody, we're going to be listening to is called Snack Motherfucking Time. It's one of my personal favorites.
Yeah, I mean, it's an anthem. So let's go. Here we go. Snack Time, Snack Motherfucking Time, live on Snacky Tunes here on HRN.
Aaron Sherman on the trumpet, y'all. Oh, man. The clothes are starting to come off and everything. Boy, shit. Get in there. Yeah, 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 3 times for the top. Here we go. Come on. Put the ball in this together with your hands from side to side, 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 side to side. From the front to the back, wait, side to side, 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 side to side. We're gonna stretch it out, stretch it out. Let me hear you say, yeah, 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 yeah. You say, say, yeah, 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 yeah. You say, here we go. Build me up one time, let's go. Come on, everybody, time to get off your feet. We're gonna have a party in the club or in the street. where them Broad Street bullies exist. With a team on the floor, repping 76. From Winterfields and Birds, last bottom and chip. Yeah, I'm talking about Philly, one of the best cities. We home for the Fresh Prince. Kobe and Big Billy, we illin'. Too fresh in the place to be. So let me tell you about the band that y'all came here to see. This is SNACKTIME, the band from Halftime, the band who spreads love, give me all the good vibes throughout the pandemic. Even though I just said it, I'ma spell our name out so y'all don't forget it. SNACKTIMEPHILLY. We the hottest band from the 215. Everybody get your motherfucking hands in the sky. Put your hands in the sky. Put your hands in the sky. Everybody get your motherfucking hands in the sky. If you came to our SNACKTIME Philly tonight, everybody get your motherfucking hands in the sky. When I say snack, y'all say time. Snack, snack. When I say snack, y'all say time. Snack, snack. When I say snack, y'all say time. Snack, 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 snack. Snack. Boom. Clap your hands, clap your hands. Clap your hands, clap your hands. Shawty got a big old one. Oh yeah. Here we out. Brooklyn ball. I said Brooklyn ball. So y'all, I don't know if you guys know this, but we actually were one of the first bands to play here just about 2 years ago. Following that, we released our first record, Sounds from the Street. Were any of y'all there? That's what I'm fucking talking about, because SNACKTIME fans are the best. You're our snack team. I'm gonna take a quick second to recognize some people on the stage. For the first time in public, on the keys and trombone from Camden, New Jersey, that is Michael Sticky Lips Spearman.
Welcome back to Snacky Tunes. We're here with SNACKTIME. And we opened up this episode with the lead single from your first studio album, Together. It's out now. How does it feel to have a recorded song out in the world?
We've been waiting a long time for this.
Yep.
We had this great live record out for a couple of years now, and people really loved it. But I think we have really transformed over the past couple of years. And we're so excited to show people sort of like where the band is going as we continue to get out of the market and sort of trying to like change people's perspective on like what it means to be a band with a bunch of horns in it.
Right. Because you could have one idea of what that is, but you're doing something a little bit different.
Yeah, we have all the respect in the world for all of our brass band homies and the ones who really made it happen. But we get a lot of comparisons to like, oh yeah, you guys are like a New Orleans brass band, and we love that, but it's just not us. So we're really trying to change the narrative around like what SNACKTIME is.
And you're gonna have a chance to do that on tour with Portugal the Man.
Yeah, we've been out for a couple days now, and it's been legendary. I can't believe the reception we're receiving from these people. It's been amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it's always good to open up for a band that's not apples to apples, because that's a way for people to really get to learn about you instead of you opening for, and again, Preservation Hall, love them, shout out to them and their status, but I get
I
get why you would want to open up for something a little bit different.
And yeah, Larry actually has been such a help since he's joined the band. Like, you know, we went from not playing into microphones to now I'm an endorsed artist by Aguilar, and I have like pedal rig and like I have all this scientific shit happening that I never thought I would ever do in my life. So it's all to make it not sound like a tuba.
Yeah. How far you come? No, it is a tuba, but don't call it a tuba. I heard that in your past festival appearances and being on the road that you've set up cookouts backstage and hosted different bands or had potlucks. No? Okay, hold on.
Sorry. Elliot has wanted to do that, and we're down.
Got it.
It has not. It has not happened. We can lie though.
No. Let me cut that out. 1 second. Yeah.
Larry, that looks good, bro. What you got? Watermelon?
Nah, Snapple apple, man.
Oh,
Yeah.
All right.
my favorite Snapple is peach.
I haven't come across that one.
All right. Here we go. Yes. So I know you're going out also with Eric Andre on a cruise.
Yeah.
What's the vibe with that? Are you excited about the buffet?
Well, actually, we just came back from that. It was at the beginning of it was at the end of last month, before we hit the tour, and it was unbelievable. I mean, Eric has been so supportive to us, and Larry can tell you some crazy stories about some stuff he did on the cruise. So we might have to save that for the unedited episode.
Yeah, that's definitely behind the paywall of like that. Yeah, I mean, again, getting out in front of like the comedic, crew and group of people is just a great way for you to, I don't know, spread the word of Snack Time.
I mean, the first opportunity, and Ben can tell you a little bit more about it, but Hannibal Buress and we connected on the internet, and we basically sent Hannibal Buress a comment, making reference to one of his jokes about Philadelphia, and then we wound up playing with him, and then Ben, if you could tell him a little bit about the handful of gigs we did with Hannibal, that was a blast.
Yeah, I mean, there's just always been a strong connection of music and comedy, and I think it's a lot of like on the spot. Even if the song doesn't involve a bunch of improvisation, it's like we know how to improvise and we know how to change stuff up on the fly, and that goes with working with any musicians. But I feel like comedians that are also musicians, you like really do not know what to expect on stage. And when we played Eric Andre's birthday party, and he basically just had the mic. We were on stage for like 6 hours, and
wow.
At one point he's just like, "Can't we do some Rage Against the Machine?" And we're like, "Okay, let's go."
I'm like, "Yeah, do this." We never played that. We never played that song ever.
So we went from Whitney Houston to Rage Against the Machine to I don't know, James Brown, Michael McDonald. We love doing that, but not every gig calls for that, and not every audience is ready for that. But something about the crowd that comes for Eric Andre, they're like, we're down with whatever happens.
It's funny because, like I said, for the first couple of years, for the first year, we didn't have any semblance of set lists, or everything we did was based upon being a DJ. We were just always trying to think. And I think a lot of how we program our stuff now also is still to keep the party going, because we still wind up doing a lot of corporate gigs and weddings. So we're always trying to essentially treat it as if you're listening to a DJ versus a band.
Yeah.
So, but a lot of the times we have all these hand signs and codes that we do when we're live that it's been written about in these publications. And it'll be like, like they have this way of communicating with each other because we're so used to operating on the fly that.
Got it. That's amazing.
We figured out our own language of how to talk to each other.
Amazing. Well, listen, you're on the road, and you're on the road for the next few weeks. Final question: when you finally get back from a festival or tour, what's your first stop for food in Philly?
Larry?
Oh man, so I had a New Year's resolution to just eat better overall. So I think I'm going to want real food, because I feel like we're going to have a certain attachment to a certain taco spot on the road.
We have just been selected as a Feed the Beat recipient. So now we are partnered with Taco Bell. They sent us a bunch of gift certificates to feed us on the road.
Okay, all right.
I'm going to have to let my stomach heal up after all that Taco Bell,
Yeah. I mean, you could do like a lettuce bowl or something.
Yeah.
I will go get the best salad. I know you just had Drew Detoma on your show.
Yeah.
The best salad in Philadelphia Meeting House.
Shout out.
Shout out. That's what we're gonna need to heal ourselves. Actually,
yeah,
that and cafe non soup.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm loving everyone's respectful, healthy answers. I'm going to get the most delicious bowl of pho from Cafe Non.
Yeah,
and it's gonna be short
I really
rib pho.
Larry, did we just watch your resolution break?
Yeah.
Because I'm going to get K-Pot now when I get back. That's like my spot. I go to K-Pot all the time, and got to stop.
Yeah, we are definitely a hot pot kind of band, which is fun because hot pot is also very communal, and that's very much about us. Like the next song you're going to hear called "Together."
Yeah.
You like that?
Yeah, I do like it. All right. So Together is the single. If people want to check you out, where can they go to hear the album, see the tour dates?
You can find us on Instagram at SNACKTIME, and you can find us on all streaming services. We're on Facebook, but if you want the most activated way to be in touch with us, we are mostly active on TikTok and Instagram.
Our website, snacktimephilly.com.
Love it. All right. Last song. What do you have for us? What are you taking the show out with?
We have our other single that just dropped. We dropped the single. Oh, yeah. Larry's got the jersey right there. We dropped the single as a two songs together. So we had Together come out, but we also have this song, I Don't Give a Damn. And it's kind of about, just forgetting about all these things in your life that are that you're so normally caught up with and you're worrying about, and it's releasing all that. And rather than a really negative, I don't give a damn, it's more of a positive.
Amazing. Well, congrats to you guys. If anyone wants some good merch, check out their website, get a jersey. It looks awesome. Big shout out to Elliot, John, and Graham for helping set this up. Here we go. Yep. Snack Time live on Snacky Tunes playing I Don't Give a Damn on HRN. We'll see you next time.
Help me spell the name of S-N-A-C-K-T-I-M-E. What was it? S-N-A-C-K-T-I-M-E. Last time. S-N-A-C-K-T-I-M-E. Drums, break down, come on. Hey y'all, this next one's a new one called I Don't Give a Damn. And it goes a little something like this. I said, oh. Chasing clowns, because it takes the bag in every town. Listen, if you think we got no gear, shouldn't be tough, because the pocket's never been big. If you're always digging up dirt, because what goes around comes back around to the ones who start it first. Come. When you give a damn the things you shouldn't give a damn to, cause the only damn we give about is giving away what we do. So, if you think we just make noise, cause the more you talk, the more we stay employed. So keep that same energy if you think we just a joke, cause it's snack motherfucking time and we want all the smoke. We talk about food, we talk about music with musical dudes. Finger on the pulse, Snacky Tunes.
Snacky Tunes is powered by Simplecast. Thanks for listening to Heritage Radio Network, food radio supported by you. Keep in touch at heritageradionetwork.org/subscribe.